Yeah, everything from. Oh, you haven't know. I saw one here. I want to hear what they said.
It's to show that they're looking for, isn't it?
Yes.
Sure. The investor.
All right, ready, Mr. Smith? All right, we're back on the record with State versus Andrea Rivers. And at about 3:45, I was provided a written note with 3 questions on it and signed by one of the jury members, might be the foreperson here. I've marked it as Court's Exhibit 5, and parties can take a look at it whenever they'd like. But here's what it says, and for us to consider. Question number 1, was Trachea Rivers, parentheses, Nene, required to testify, or did she volunteer/offer to testify? Question number 2, can we open bags of evidence? And question number 3, can we review body cam video and 911 audio? So again, anyone can come look at this whenever they'd like, but working through them, the question of whether a particular witness was required to testify or did she volunteer or offer to testify, my thought there is to instruct them in response to their first question that the evidence is now closed, and you may only consider that admitted evidence during your deliberations, and leave it at that.
She testified that she was unwilling to come. She was forced.
That is true. That was that.
She testified that they just, they're gonna have to refer to their recollection, their judge, because she testified to that point. It would be inappropriate for us to answer that. I think.
I agree with you, and I think that's a good point to make as well. That she was asked, I think, that by both sides. So essentially, I'll add, the jury must refer to their recollection of the evidence. The evidence is now closed, and you may only consider that evidence during your deliberations. Any thoughts There?
I don't care if you go one step further and say she testified to that point, but just can't say what the testimony was.
Okay, Ms. Willingham?
I would prefer to go with the way you answered it the first, or just now.
Okay. I guess Mr. Sturge's point was to add that the witness testify. Well, I think that, yeah, the way the question is phrased, they may be asking for the court's opinion or the objective answer to that. And I don't think we need to wade into that. So I think that would raise more issues than it might solve. So we'll just redirect them to their notes and to the evidence presented on that. Question 2, can we open bags of evidence? You have to remind me what's actually back there in the bags.
It's just the shell casing.
Okay. Any thoughts about that, Ms. Willingham?
They can open them.
Okay. So the answer to number 2 is yes, but don't lose anything.
What do you want to open?
Apparently the projectiles that were recovered. So I don't know if we need to give them some scissors or something like that.
Possibly gloves.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do them gloves, scissors, I don't know, tape if they want to tape them back up. We could tell them that they have to tape it back up themselves and initial it once they're done with it. That might make sense. All right, and then question 3, can we review body cam video and 911 audio? We can be lawyerly and say yes, and then leave it at that and make them ask a follow-up question. Or we can just go ahead and plan to say you can, but you have to be out here to do that. Then have them ask us a follow-up note, or we just go ahead and bring them out and say, yes, we can, and now we're republishing these things.
Well, telling them they can, but they would have to come out here.
Okay, Mr. Strozier?
I take the same position. It can't go back with them because of the continuing witness rule.
Certainly not. Okay, so on number 3, then I'll just explain the procedure whereby they may review certain admitted exhibits, but only in the presence of the parties in an open court. And so if we receive further instructions from them as to exactly what they want to review and how they want to review it, we can try to accommodate them and then allow them to retire and resume deliberations. And I would imagine we just hold in place for a minute. Okay, with that, then let's bring back in the jury. Thank you, Deputy Scott. Members of the jury, welcome back. At about 3:45, we received a written note from you. And as you might have gathered from this point forward, no one, including myself or any of the parties, are allowed to communicate or converse with you. Everything's supposed to be through a written note. And so in response to your questions, I would offer the following guidance and instructions. Your first question was whether a certain witness was required to testify or did she volunteer offer to testify. In response to that, I would charge you that the jury must refer to their recollection of the evidence presented in this case. The evidence is now closed, and you may only consider the evidence admitted during your deliberations. As for the second question, can we open bags of evidence? The answer to that is yes. And we will provide you with some gloves. And if you need any scissors, please let us know. And I think what we would also do is if you do open it, when you're done with them, we'd ask you that you tape them back and initial them. So we'll give you all of those materials to make that happen. And then finally, you asked, can we review body cam video and 911 audio? The answer to that is yes, but there are some caveats. With this type of evidence, you'll notice it's not back there with you. To review the body cam video or the 911 audio, that is something that you have to do in open court and in the presence of the parties. So if we receive further instructions from you of exactly what it is you want to review or how many times you want to hear it, then we can accommodate those requests. But we can only do that out here together. So with that, I'll ask you to retire and resume your deliberations. All right, any objections to that supplemental charge, Ms. Willingham?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Stroger? All right, let's recess and hold in place for about 5 minutes, see if they immediately come back out with a no.
Can I run to the men's room?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know. We could have had Coleman in August. Yeah, we published it yet. That's a pretty quick turnaround. I don't know. Ask Russell if she wants to go in August. Say what?
I just finished.
Well, but just if you just finished it and that was a whole thing.
No. I can always add a person, add a case.
Have a bunch of rollovers. I told him September, winter September.
Yeah, it looks like it's working.
Okay.
I put calendar call for the 6th after case management.
Okay.
Any further questions? Judge, nothing?
Yes, sir.
No further questions, Judge?
Not yet. Not yet. We're off the record.
You don't want that clock.
Say what? Where'd that clock come from?
And it's on color.
Where was it?
Yeah.
It's been up there the whole time?
No, it was in the drawer.
Oh, yeah, you can get rid of it. Where do you want
He's
it?
gonna take it.
In your office? You make sure it syncs up. The battery goes out. I'm holding you to it. Oh, okay. All right. You just want 2 clocks. He's decorating now.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of like. It's gonna be here.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's right. I forgot we'd thrown it in a drawer. Turns,
Judge got her clocks. It's her clock.
who did?
Judge Richardson.
She got 3 of them?
She got 2.
Did she do the same thing? She got a countdown timer? Bunch of copycats. Benton said she was gonna order some too. Benton got flag spreaders. Say what? What's that? Okay.
She has 2.
Yeah, I'm very happy with these.